All right, hey everybody, this is Marshawn Olanio, and you are watching Ask Marshawn. Today's question is, why am I afraid to be alone? But before I jump into the question, I want to just specifically say, if you have a question that you want me to answer and you are on YouTube, look down below for the comments area, type in your question, and I may or may not answer it right away, right? If you are on Facebook and you want me to answer your question, you can absolutely look down below, submit your question in the comment section, or you have the opportunity to submit your question through a DM, a direct message to me, a private message, so you can remain anonymous. If you don't mind me saying your name, then I will say it. If you send it to me through DM, then I absolutely will not say your name. So today it was sent in anonymously. Why am I afraid to be alone? Now, before I answer, because I'm gonna give you two things that I believe is contributing to the fact that many people are feeling alone and lonely, whether they're in a relationship, whether they're married, or whether they're single. Give you a couple stats that I wrote down. The first one is 42% of millennial women are more afraid of loneliness than a cancer diagnosis, according to a survey that was done in 2017. Did you hear me? 42% of millennial women are more afraid of loneliness than a cancer diagnosis. The second fact that I wrote down is 60% of married people express feelings of loneliness at some point in their marriage regularly, according to a different study. So you are not alone if you are feeling lonely at some point in your life, in some point in your relationship, whether you're, again, single or in a relationship / married. It doesn't really matter where you're at on the spectrum. Many of us have felt the feeling of loneliness. Me, myself, I have felt the feeling of loneliness. It doesn't happen very often for me, but it has happened, right? One of the things that I think contributes to the feeling of loneliness or feeling alone, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married or you're single, is too many of us are busy. And when you're busy, you don't have a clue who you are. You don't have a clue of the things that you actually like, because you feel that you always have to be a part of something. You always have to be doing something. And a lot of people don't want to listen to the things that are coming up, their thoughts. A lot of people run away from their thoughts, especially at night. Like, have you ever wondered why so many people get into trouble at night, where there's so much animosity, turmoil, right? Listen, let's be real. You might have texted or made a call, a booty call, right? It's usually later on at night when the world is starting to calm down and all of the busyness throughout the day is settling in, and now you have time to hear yourself think. Many people, most people, don't want to deal with the thoughts. And so because, here's the first point, we have not made enough time, enough quality time to be with ourselves, to really figure out, what are these thoughts? What do they mean? Why does it bother me? Why am I feeling lonely? Why do I feel alone? Again, a lot of it is because you don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you need. If somebody was to come and ask you a particular question, like, what is it that you need right now? Would you be able to answer that question? Instead of saying, never thought about that, or that's a good question, right? Really putting some thoughts into what is it that you need. Really putting some thoughts into what are your goals. Really putting some thoughts into what are your dreams. Really putting some thoughts into what do you want your relationship or marriage to look like once you get in it. And if you're already in it, now what are you doing separately as an individual within that relationship to reach your own personal goals, as well as what are the both of you doing together to attain the goals that you have for your relationship or your marriage. Many people don't have a clue as to what those things are, and research has actually shown that people that don't have goals, people that don't have dreams, and definitely are not taking action toward these dreams and goals, have a tendency to feel more depressed, and they're more pessimistic. They see the glass as half empty, right? And so all of that depressive feelings, that depressive state. Now, everybody doesn't fall into this category. However, it does go hand in hand. People that are more pessimistic and negative. They see the glass half empty versus half full. They automatically hone in and see the negative of every situation. Those people have a tendency to be more depressed or have a depressive state about themselves. And I've actually talked to several people who have that are more pessimistic, and I can see that they lean more toward the negative. I just simply have asked them the question, do they find themselves feeling more depressed? Have they been diagnosed with depression? And most of them, actually all of them, have actually said yes. So it's not my research, but the research does show that it actually does happen. I just wanted to see if it was true with the people that I know that lean toward the negative. So getting back on course. The first thing, people, we are not spending enough quality time with our own self. We feel that we have to be a part of something. We have to be doing something, whether it's scrolling on your show, scrolling on social media, whether it's watching YouTube, whatever it is, you are not hearing yourself think. And then wondering why you can't sleep at night. It's because your mind is not resting. It's not resting. And so in turn, that leaves the body still pretty hyped and moving around. And then you tossing and turning all night. Okay? The second thing that I believe why many people feel so lonely is because we're not as connected as we truly believe that we are. Including but not limited to in our relationships and even the marriages. We have so many distractions, and not enough people are putting these distractions in their place. Meaning off to the side, shutting things down so you can remain connected to the person that's in the same room as you. We have a tendency, instead of meeting people face to face nowadays, or even talking to them on the phone, we have a tendency to text everybody. I'm not saying that nothing is wrong with texting, but if you want to feel connected to somebody, you have to be able to hear their voice. You need to be able to see their body language, right? Because a lot of times we have the tendency to read text out of context. And then you have an attitude when the person that sent the text didn't even mean anything malicious by the text, but because the way that you received it as being malicious, now you ticked off, and now y'all kind of having a text war because of a misunderstanding. And a lot of those misunderstandings can be thrown to the side or even never happen if we really connected with the person in front of us. If we stop interrupting a person when they're speaking and allowing them to fully get out their thoughts. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to answer the question that you feel is so pertinent to ask in that moment. So we're not as connected as we believe that we are with all of these distractions around. And because we have this world where everything is instantaneous, our food, the deliveries, Amazon, right? All of the Prime, just all of this stuff where we can get it at our fingertips. Like even Netflix, you can fast, they don't even have commercials. We can binge watch shows now, where in the past, right? In the past, we used to have to wait a week and then had all of these commercials. Even on YouTube, you can skip the commercials, right? So there's a lot of instantaneous. And in those times, like when the commercial used to come on, is the time that we would connect a little bit more with our spouse, with our children, right? And now it's just go, go, go. On top of that, we're not making specific time frames to connect with people. Like I personally have people on my schedule that I want to stay connected to, including my daughter, right? I schedule that time in so I can block out that time to be fully with her, to be fully with my friends, to be fully there, present. Putting my phone to the side and showing up so they feel like there is a connection. And it's because I'm being intentional about the connection that I want to create with him, create with her, create with my people, right? So these are the real underlying reasons why most of us feel lonely and alone. And it really has nothing to do with the other person, meaning your romantic partner not being there, not showing you the attention that you feel that you need, because now we're putting too much pressure on our romantic partner and we're using them as a crux instead of dealing with our own feelings. instead of dealing with our own thoughts that are coming up, the things that are coming to the surface, instead of running away from them. The more that you face your thoughts, your fears about what you're thinking about, take action on how to correct those things, the better off you will be and the less lonely you will feel, because again, you'll start to look for things to achieve. And anytime you have a goal in place and you're achieving or moving toward achieving and accomplishing that goal, you're not feeling lonely at all, because you got things to do. You got things to do. So connect more with yourself so you stop feeling alone and lonely. So you don't have to be a part of the crowd of women, the millennial women, that feel more alone, right, than having a cancer diagnosis. Or if you're married, you don't want to be a part of the 60% of people that feel lonely even while they are married. The connection is not there as much as you believe that it is. So work on connecting not only with yourself, work on connecting with your spouse, partner, friends, family members, children, etc. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Again, you have been watching Ask Marshawn. If you want to submit a question, please do down below on YouTube, down below on Facebook, or on Facebook, you have the opportunity to send it to me in a direct message, in a DM. So I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And I'll talk to you next time on Ask Marshawn. Bye-bye.